So what's going on, guys? It's Captain America. Hope you guys are well, and thank you so much for coming onto the channel. So again, as always, starting off with the match stats. So this was a 9 versus 9 friendly game against a team that wants to play us on Sunday, but we didn't have many players, so we done it for Monday instead. It was a great game on our side. We thrashed them completely. It was first half as well. It was like 4-0, and then we ended the game with 6-0. So do enjoy, overall we played fantastically. We had 12 shots in total. The opposition only had 4. The way that we were playing was very much like high pressing football, but of course with only 9 players in total in the team, we had the left back and the left centre back position not available, so we couldn't exploit that side as much as we could. But generally overall, we played fantastically. My side of things, I had a 7.2 rating. 3 possessions, 1, 0 lost. But again, a clean sheet on my end. Again, against the team that is like, it's an okay opponent. I think we're not going to be playing against these guys again. I think we are going to be looking at, full 11s wherever possible. It's been a bit tough. Yesterday we didn't have that many people earlier on, but no worries. But we're going to be doing what we can to go into or get in preparation for the Pro League side of things. But no, it was a great game as mentioned. The third goal was a great goal. It was a skilled goal as well. I think he did like a scorpion kick, which is a fantastic goal. So do check that one out. As well as the sixth goal was a great team play as well. But again, generally the play style that we have is, as mentioned, very much high pressing, counter pressing type of football. Very similar to how Liverpool play in real life. But we try to pass the ball as much as we can and just get into the box and just do what we can from there. But we usually score quite a lot of goals in each of our games. We've got a ratio over like the past couple of games now, 6-7, where we scored nearly like 4 goals in every single game or over. So we've done very well. And in this game we didn't have the centre back partner that I would. He's a fantastic player. He's on my last video. Just forming that partnership up with him and just understanding how he plays. He does play as a more of a aggressive style centre back, which I prefer. He could go and get the balls wherever possible, and I could just be as the final line of defense, let's say, for example, just understanding and reading the game as well. So no, just generally, it was a fantastic game, and it was funny at half time as well, because they had 9 players to start off with, and they ended up with at half time with 4 players. We didn't expect them to like leave at half time. I thought they were going to do some sort of fight back or change their strategy or tactic, but for some of their players to leave, that is actual banter, man. But I'm glad that there was 4 players that did not leave. They still were doing what they could to, let's say, reduce the deficit if they could. But the game ended at 6-0. Just generally, it was a great performance from our side. So do enjoy. But yeah, what we're going to be talking about today is just more around transfers. So yesterday's video I was blabbering on a bit too much, and I forgot to end up with some of the remaining transfers that I had on the list. And one of them was around like United. United have been rumoured to, sign a number of like interesting players. One of them was Nunes, but as we know, Nunes moved over to Liverpool, my club. So, glad that we made the move for Nunes. But again, I think something that was shown in that deal for Nunes is the, how do you say, the stature of United has changed. Of course, over the years with City getting bigger, and they are, let's say, the bigger club as such in Manchester. Manchester is blue. It hasn't been red in a very long time. It's just unfortunate, of course, because City have had the oil and the money around it, which generally for the league isn't great, as well as financial fair play. But, corruption, there's not much that they could do for these clubs, Man City or PSG. I know that, I think the Spanish La Liga was doing some sort of lawsuit or something like that. I read like, I think a week ago or something. So that'll be interesting to see how that pans out, but we all know how that's going to go. It's going to just be hushed under the carpet or wherever it is, very similar to like the La Liga giants, such as Barca as well as Real Madrid. I don't know why they've done the law firm or whether the lawsuit as such, so that was actually interesting. But yeah, so as I was mentioning, United don't have, over this like recent times now, it's been a couple of years now, let's say 6-7 years strong, that they don't have this character of getting like, how do you say, like, if they're fighting against like these bigger teams to get like the player that they actually wanted instead of the second fiddle player that they wanted at an obscene price. Against like Liverpool, for example, Liverpool's been doing fantastic over the past seasons. They can't compete against these like bigger clubs anymore if they're going for like that main man that they're trying to go for with the likes of, let's say, Bayern. You've got also Man City in that equation now. It's very similar to like Phillips, Man City. I actually thought Phillips would be a good move for like the likes of United. I think he's quite well suited in terms of like that type of team. But Man City's looking at getting him for like 50 mil, which I did predict. Hint hint in my previous videos. I did say that valuation before I even saw the valuation, which was how obscene the UK player base, inflated value that they have behind each other. So no, let's see. So with United, then they've got like the likes of Abraham, who's had a fantastic season at Roma. It's a case where if he wants to stay at Roma, Jose Mourinho is doing a fantastic job, and I think that they're gonna try fighting or competing against the likes of AC Milan or even Inter Milan next season in Serie A. I think Juve are going through like a recuperation in a way. They've kind of like done a United. I think it's like they've had such an aged team over so many years that they haven't really done much in like the youth side of things. So they're getting hindered by that, but they will be fighting back as usual, Juve. But no, I think with Abraham, he's had a fantastic season at Roma. I think he's going to stay at Roma for another year and then look at coming back into the UK scene. I think he's going to just miss the life or the vibes in the UK. And plus, of course, he wants to like keep it consistent with his competition in the English national team. He's got Harry Kane, who's not done well. I don't know why he plays as a deep forward. I've mentioned it many times for the national team. He should just be out for out. Was it centre forward? I don't understand why he plays so deep for England. So Abraham is competing against Kane. So yeah, I think he's going to stay at Roma for a year and then he's going to shoot off to, I don't know, maybe United next year. Let's see. I think that'll be an interesting purchase. But I do see him at the likes for some reason at Tottenham. I don't know why. Alongside Kane. Maybe. Let's see. And then, of course, Timber. Again, a similar thing. Van Gaal, from what I was reading, took him out and said, don't go for the move for United. And, this is what's going to happen to your career. And he's seen it. And he's been the manager. Don't get me wrong. He's been the manager. So he knows what the vibes are like. It's not even like in the back room. It's like the upper level, man. Like the whole Manchester hierarchy is just so, I don't know what's happening. But it's good to see as a Liverpool fan because they're just crumbling. And it's good to see because, again, very similar with the likes of like Timber, where Van Gaal just spoke to him and said, look, you're going to ruin your career, man. Like, don't go for it. I've had the experience. I even like done a fake drop on the ground. I don't know if anyone's seen that video where literally he's speaking to the fourth linesman and then he just falls on the ground with his papers, which is actual banter. But he doesn't want Timber's career to be ruined, especially at such a young age. And he's always been like a wonder kid as such on like these games like Football Manager and whatnot. So that will be a very interesting, let's say, player situation to look out for, I think, in this summer to see if he does make the move, if he does risk it or not. Because again, if he does move on, he's going to be going to the boss that he knows, so the play style that he's going to be, how do you say, embedding within the team. So, they're going to be making a lot of like changes within the squad itself. I know Pogba's already left now. He's going to be leaving, which is actual banter for United. There's a reason why Alex Ferguson sold him. He didn't see him as a good player. So for United to buy him back with their trousers pulled down at such a ridiculous price and then to let him leave again on a free is just pure banter, man. Like, that is so perfect of how United's situation is at the moment, and it's just so hilarious to watch. So yeah, keep up the good job on that. But again, keeping on United, let's see what happens with the situation of De Jong. As mentioned, you've got the manager who's come from Ajax, who's had De Jong as well as Van de Beek play under his remit. He's looking at the likes of, Anthony at Ajax. He's looking at Timber as well. So he's trying to bring the Ajax ideology that he had, and especially players that he's trusted, let's say. Ajax with the team that they had with like the players that I've just mentioned, De Jong, Van de Beek or whatnot, they went to the semi-finals and they lost that to Tottenham, and that's the season where Liverpool went on to win the Champions League. Again, they done massive upsets to some large teams as well, man, Ajax. So with the likes of De Jong being rumoured to go to United, I think it just depends on him. I think the ultimate situation is going to be on him if he's going to risk wanting to move to, let's say, United, speaking to one of his best closest friends, which is Van de Beek, and understanding the situation at United from a first-hand experience. I think that will be so interesting if he's going to be willing to risk it on a word from his boss saying, look, things will be better, or a player that's been there and loaned out to Everton being like, nah, mate, it's actually really horrible down here. So yeah, and again, he's going to be risking his Champions League, let's say, opportunity. I don't see United being anywhere near the Champions League in the next couple of years. Like, don't get me wrong, Tottenham have made some fantastic purchases over the summer with the likes of Perisic. You got Basuma. They're being rumoured with the likes of Bastoni to strengthen up their defensive area, but I think he's going to stay at Inter. Bastoni, I don't see him moving. He's still young, and I don't think he's going to risk it yet. Maybe in a couple of years. Maybe I see him moving over to Tottenham in like 2 years, but not as yet. I think he's doing fantastic for them, and he still wants to, let's say, be in the first team of Italy. But yeah, you got the likes of Tottenham, you got Liverpool, Man City. So there's always one position that you're fighting for. Chelsea's going to be looking at Sterling or Dembele as a wing option. So I think, again, it just depends on who's going to get that fourth position. But I don't see it being United unless like Chelsea slip up or Tottenham slip up. Arsenal, they're doing very well with their signings as well. You know, high mention to them. They're looking at, you know, Jesus, who's coming from Man City, as well as the Heaven, you know, trying to save his Arsenal career as such, you know, trying to get them, instead of being a Spursy as such, you know, going and fighting for the fourth position and then, I don't know, dropping, I don't know how many points they did over the last end of the season to get like fifth is pure banter, man. Like, they just need to keep consistency. Don't get me wrong, they've done fantastic to go from like the relegation zone to then like go on a very good run with their youthful team. They got a fantastic team base around like youthful players. You know, they've done so well with Arteta. I think next year with the signings that they're making, they're only going to go from strength to strength. I think they're going to be fighting for that Champions League position. So I do see it being like in no particular order, but it's either going to be Man City or Liverpool going for the league again. Tottenham, surprisingly, being quite close by. And then you got the likes of Arsenal getting fourth potentially. It's going to be, I don't know, Tottenham or Arsenal is going to be switched around. I think Arsenal's going to have a very good season, but I don't see Chelsea getting it this season. I think they're going to get, let's say, fifth, and then you got a United sixth or something like that, and then West Ham seventh. I think West Ham are doing quite well with their transfer market signings too. You know, quite expensive players, around 30 mil or so. I think they just signed, who was it, a midfielder or something, Moroccan guy. I didn't read up to it, onto it too much because I didn't see who he was. I've never heard of him, so that's an interesting buy to see and hear how he's going to be playing for them in this next coming season at West Ham, because they had a fantastic season. You know, they progressed so well with the Europa side of things, and again, to have a strong position sustained within the league has been, you know, touche to Moises. He's done a fantastic job. Again, a Man United reject. Again, this guy was recommended by Sir Alex Ferguson, man. If this guy, Sir Alex Ferguson, recommends players, backroom staff, whoever he knows and he trusts, they will do well, man. Like, that is what happens. It's like, he did not know what was the whole situation around, what was it, that was it, United winger Bebby or something like that. I don't know, the Portuguese guy. He was told by someone that, look, he's a really good player, and they had their pants pulled down again. I think they paid a couple of million for him, which was actual banter, because again, he did not come from a good club. He wasn't a great player, as we saw, but it was just, again, not his recommendation. If he makes specific recommendations, they will do well. And you know, we saw that with the likes of Moyes, as mentioned. He done fantastic for West Ham. United just need to give a little more patience and time for their managers and to see how they go through. You know, we saw it with the likes of Klopp, who's done fantastic with Liverpool over the time that he's had with them. They had very poor players at the start of his Liverpool career. So what he's done with them has just been fantastic. And we'll talk a bit more about like Mane tomorrow as well, and other transfers. I've blabbered on a bit too much about United, but either way, you know, I do appreciate you guys. Enjoy you know, your time, and I hope that you love this video. You know, the thrashing that we done to this friendly team who we're never going to be playing again. But no, enjoy the video, and please feel free to like and subscribe as always, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace and air grease. Bye bye.